Everyone, before I start this video, I want you personally, to think of the most grueling, soul-crushing shift you've ever worked. It could be anywhere, a fast food place, a depressing office. Odds are, that shift was probably 8 or 9 hours long. That's painful, but I've had the stipulation that it's a Friday, so you have the ease of mind that tomorrow you'll be doing nothing. That's pretty nice. Okay, now the direction. I want you to imagine now working 12 hours a shift, 5 days a week, and you're forced to do it. That's probably the most unhinged opening I've ever done in a video, but I'm simply setting up the painful premise for the story today. Because I'll be talking about Samsung, everybody's favorite. I actually don't know what they make, honestly. I think they make doohickeys, I'll just call it that. But I'm wondering that a couple of you have your own Samsung OLED TV at home. Like one of those Titanic 4K OLED ones they spend too much money on, just simply watch shitty 1080p YouTube videos on. But hey, if you had the money, who cares, buy whatever you want. Well, you probably didn't know the process behind it, the people that developed the product. And those people, they more than likely don't like their jobs. I don't imagine it's a blast. However, now they're gonna hate their job more, because I've read an article how Samsung, they plan to make their employees, some of them in Korea, to work up to 64 hours a week. 64. See, I said it again to add more emphasis. That's actually the range, that much. Jobs are already grueling because you waste most of your time, of your life, working there. But that much, that's essentially delegating more of your life that you spend personally at home, at your own workplace. Jokes aside, for that shift schedule, I would get somewhat, a tiny bit, if it was for something way more important. For example, making the vaccines during COVID at its peak. I'm not defending that, I'm not defending the 64 hours a week idea. I don't think anyone outside of a dictatorship-ruled country can. But I'm just saying you need a pretty big cause like that to judge someone's well-being that much. But so OLED TVs, what? Not even close. So let's talk about why it's an idea and what it's meant to combat. Because stuff like this, it doesn't happen unwarranted. It can't even happen unwarranted because the Ministry of Employment in Korea only allows the max of 52 hours a week for employees, which is actually a sum of 40 hours actual on schedule and then 12 hours overtime, potentially. But that's it. I think that's pretty fair, for an Asian country that could easily break that law. But Samsung doesn't agree, which is why they've been begging them to allow the increase to 64. That's them already. But it's even dumber when you take into account the reason why, being they have more competition now. Their sales are being threatened and they can't bear having a tiny chip on their empire, so they're going to that extent. And they're scrambling up ways and ideas to keep the place at the very top, which is where the 64 hours a week will be allocated. Initially, I saw that plan was purely meant for the manufacturers, all the employees in the factory making the TVs. But no, it was actually for the smaller IT departments, the ones that manage all the software, with one subcategory being the AI development. Just every other big company, I swear to God. Which to me is a pretty big sign that soon they're gonna have some massive dumb reveal by Samsung to announce a big thing that make no sense. To simply impress a few customers and maybe a handful of those tech YouTubers. I think with a lot of companies, AI is the new frontier to expand the perks in and make more money. But that's the issue, it's new. It's impossible for it to not have any flaws, which is natural. But when you're banking on it that much, that you're making employees work as well that long, it will just backfire on you when having a product that's bad quality or just making you look bad, PR wise. And I believe that I see it as bizarre from my point of view, simply because it's tied around just competition and that's it. Which does sound like a genuine cause, the competition must be fierce for them to go to that extent. But I legitimately can't think of any other companies that could further than Samsung. Maybe Apple? Do they make TVs? One equivalent, I guess, to show the difference in business competition knowledge is people in Europe saying that taxis are dying because of how common Uber is. But your nation person, they wouldn't get the whole thing because Uber's nowhere near as popular as it is over there. I'm not defending Samsung, I'm simply making a point how it seems that the range to make people work that long for just competition that doesn't seem that big. Regardless, no matter how much in vain it might seem, it could potentially happen, since they were able to get 64 hours a week approved by the Ministry of Employment for the semiconductor and research teams, as well as for some people working in the smartphone development team. So they have done it before, and they're using the jargon of how Samsung, their sales have decreased over the years, and that all this extra work will kick everyone into overtime mode and make them more productive and work hard for the company, it's family. Maybe should have one guy at Samsung that's worked there for 50 years and has done nothing else with his life than just make business plans for the company. Maybe he would like this new corporate implementation. But if I was working in the department in line for this new 64 hours a week plan, I can't say I'd be happy, I'm sorry to say.